Friends, this is the continuation of email video, and today we are going to discuss about POP3 and IMAP. So in our last video we were discussing about SMTP. In SMTP we were discussing about user agent and mail transfer agent or message transfer agents. In this topic we are going to discuss about message access agent. There are two message access agent namely we are using. One is POP3 and another one is IMAP4. Okay, so we'll see how this happens. So as I already told, or as we already discussed, right, SMTP is going to take care of push operation. So it is going to work between user agent and MTA, that is message access agent. But when it comes to MTA, message transfer agent. But when it comes to message access, right, we need another protocol called POP3, or we can use IMAP4. Okay, so in this diagram you can see, right, so Alice wants to communicate to Bob, but Alex is connected through LAN or WAN, and similarly Bob is also connected through LAN or WAN, but SMTP's range is going to be between Alice, LAN and WAN, and reaching towards the mail server, that is the original mail server, and then accessing towards internet, and till reaching the mail server of Bob. But after that, the message access is not possible through SMTP because SMTP supports only push operation. Okay, but pop operation or pull operation can be done by only by message access agent. So there are two message access agent protocols are available here. So one is POP3 or IMAP4. Okay. So now we'll discuss about POP3. So we need POP3 mail server and we have our user computer. Okay, so how the POP3 is going to interact with the client. Okay, or we can say this POP3 client is nothing but my receiver. Okay, that is Bob. Okay, so how POP3 is going to access. This is what we are going to discuss in this particular, scenario. So there is a mail server. This is a POP3 mail server, and the user computer is there. So POP3 server and POP3 client. So now the POP3 client is going to send the username, and POP3 server is going to throw back a OK message, and POP3 client is going to send the password, and POP3 server is going to again throw back the OK message, and then POP3 client will ask for list. Okay, so it is going to list. So this process is nothing but, so whenever you log into your device and whenever you refresh your inbox, so there is a list of email you are getting. Okay, and whenever you refresh your sent mail, whenever you click on something, right, so there is a content loaded in your email box, right. So this is called message access, or this is called a retrieval operation. So this retrieval operation is performed by POP3. Okay, so uh, so whenever I am going to log in, okay, so whenever I am going to log in, I'm entering my username. So the POP3 server is going to give me a okay, and then I'm entering my password. So it is giving me a okay, yes, I got authenticated. Then when I get in, right, I am sending a list request. So then what happens at the POP3 server? So it is going to send email numbers and their sizes, and POP3 client is going to send retrieve one message, and what it is going to do, it is going to give email one. So I am clicking on an email, so I am retrieving something. So POP3 server is going to perform the pull operation, and it is going to retrieve the email what I actually requested. So similarly I can retrieve all the emails. Okay, so it is like pull operation, or otherwise I can say like loading or downloading. Okay, so whenever you refresh, all the emails have been retrieved by your browser or by your client side. Okay, so who is going to help me in doing this is going to be POP3. Okay, so POP3 is called message access agent. Okay, so next what we are going to discuss here is called MIME. So MIME is nothing but it's a multi-purpose internet mail extension. So generally the mail is going to be supported with different format of languages, but computer will understand only ASCII. So in order to convert the non-ASCII format into ASCII code, we are going for MIME, MIME. This is otherwise known as multi-purpose internet mail extension. Okay. So what we are going to discuss here? So we are going to talk about MIME headers. So what MIME is going to do to me? So I am Alice. I want to send an email. Okay. So user agent. So at the user agent side, I have non-ASCII code, right? So I am going to have a non-ASCII format, a non-ASCII code at the user side, and I use MIME to convert non-ASCII into 7-bit ASCII code. Okay, 7-bit ASCII code. and then it is given to email system. And again, at the receiver side, same 7-bit ASCII is used. Again, at the receiver side, I'm having MIME to convert the same 7-bit like ASCII code into a, again, non-ASCII format. Okay. For example, something like this. Okay. So there is a content which is written in some other format. For example, it is like JPEG. Okay. So you are loading something in JPEG, but it is converted into ASCII. It is transmitted. Again, the ASCII is received at the receiver side. Then again, it is converted back into the original format. Okay, this is the major purpose of MIME, right? Multi-purpose Internet Mail Extension. So now we'll see what is there in the MIME header. So you can see in MIME header, so MIME version, so content type, and content transfer encoding, so that it will show encoding type, and message ID, and content description will be there, and finally it will be having an email body. Okay, right? So there are some data types and subtypes are given in the MIME. So this is part of MIME. So depending upon what type of data, right, what extension I am going to use, what type I am going to use. So MIME supports text, multi-part, message, image, video, audio application. See, I would like to tell you one thing here. After MIME invention only, right, we started appending our JPEG, we started appending our PDF documents, we started appending our videos, we started appending everything, right? So that's what, right? So it is going to be used for multi-purpose. See, previously, right, SMTP without MIME, it will support only plain text. Okay, now we can attach our documents, we can send whatever we want, right? That's all because of MIME. That is multi-purpose internet mail extension. Okay, so these are the different types, subtypes, and description is given here. Right, try to have a go at it. And what are the types of encoding it is going to support, that is also given in here. Okay, so 7-bit NVT ASCII, 8-bit non-ASCII, binary non-ASCII is there, base 64 6-bit it is there, quoted printable format, non-ASCII character encoding is there. So this is nothing but content transfer encoding, which is supported by MIME, which is given here. So we are not going to look into this much. I think that's it, friends. I think that's it. So this is what I have intended to give you. So mail access agent. So under mail access agent, POP3 is a very prominent agent, and then MIME. MIME will be the very important, like extension what we need to have. Without MIME, your mail will be just plain text. Okay, after like MIME incorporated into email, we started enjoying all the features of MIME. So now we can add whatever we want. We can attach anything because it is supportable through MIME. So that's it, friends. That's all about this video. So we have discussed about POP3 and MIME as a message access agent and a conversion, like protocol here. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.